Emmanuel Chindove is one of the many missionaries who have come to Kyiv to serve within the Embassy of God Church. We decided to interview him to find out what his experience has been over the past 9 months since he got here. He will be telling us some of the negative things and some of the positive things that he has experienced since getting to Ukraine. Okay, so we're here on the site. Emmanuel, can you tell us a bit about what's happening on the site?
Yes, this is the proposed site for the Embassy of God Church. This is where the building is going to be. As you can see, they've already started laying the foundation. So they are aiming to complete the first phase of the building before the 18th anniversary. And the 18th anniversary is just going to be in the next coming months, end of March, early April 2012. And by the way, if you feel led to support the church in this building project, the details are right on the screen. But what is most important is your prayers for this church, because they're going through a lot of persecution as it stands. The first phase of the building project is a temporary Congress hall as seen on the slideshows.
Jesus, we worship you.
Now, one of the reasons why the church is trying to get the first phase of the project done this year in 2012 before the 18th anniversary is because of situations like this. As you can see, that is a big patch. I mean, there's also other places on the tent where they've got these similar kind of patches. Now, what has been happening is that there've been, people who have been coming with knives, blades, and they would actually just put a big hole on the tent, which is, not really a good thing to do. But, well, what can you say? I mean, the light has come to this society and darkness cannot comprehend it. So one of the other things is, as you can see, I've got behind me, this is a barrier. So this has been put there so as to block people from just going straight to the tent and actually putting holes on it. They've also put security measures as well. They've got people who are patrolling sort of like quite often, just to ensure that the place is well protected. Nobody is trying to put a hole on the tent again. Now I'm inside the tent, and I would like to tell you what happened in the winter of 2009. There was actually heavy snow in Kiev, and unfortunately the snow was so heavy that it actually brought the whole entire tent to the ground. So as you can see, you're going to look, starting from that corner, going up all the way, it's actually a big patch that they've actually put together to join the tent. I mean, thank God when this happened, it was in the night when nobody was in the tent. Had it been that it was during a service, it could have been catastrophic. You could imagine with the thousands of people being inside the church, and if that would have happened. But glory be to God, nobody was in the tent, nobody was injured, nobody was hurt. So you understand the reason why the church is so determined to get this building off the ground, to make sure that by the 18th anniversary they've got the first phase of the building done.
Emmanuel, can you tell us about some of the upcoming events for 2012?
Yes, this year is going to be a very exciting year. 2012 is going to be a new morning for the church and the body of Christ. In a couple of months, starting from the 28th of March till the 6th of April, we are going to have the 18th anniversary, and followed by the History Makers training. So this is for the English speakers, people who come from different parts of the world who actually speak English. I mean, here in Ukraine, they hold History Makers training for Russian speakers. So this time around, they'll be having it for English speakers. I mean, I would highly recommend it for everybody or anybody out there who would like to become a history maker and be part of what God is doing in these last days. I have actually been a participant in the History Makers training, and I discovered great things during the 3 days I attended the last History Makers training. I discovered that I could actually be more efficient. I was actually 80% more efficient at doing, a lot of different things. I could read a book in one day. I could actually do 2 assignments, in one day. So this History Makers is highly recommended. I mean, if you can't attend the anniversary, you can just attend the History Makers training. Or if you can't attend the History Makers training, at least you can attend the anniversary. If you come from a country which requires a visa, just get in touch with the guest department, and I mean, you can actually reach them by email. The email address is guest@godembassy.org, and they'll actually help you. They'll actually advise you on what you need to do. They'll provide you with all the information so that you can actually get your visa.
Okay, so I know there are many people out there who talk about either not knowing about their vision, and for some people they know about their vision, but they do not necessarily know how to go about doing what God has called them to do. So would you say History Makers training is a place to come to receive such training and guidance and insight into what you should be doing?
Oh, certainly. History Makers is actually a training ground. It's actually the training field where people can actually discover the kind of treasure that God has actually put in them. But one thing I should actually say is that you have to be ready to do work. I mean, it's one thing coming for the History Makers training, but for you to receive the results you're looking for, as an individual, you need to actually do the work.
So, what other events are taking place during 2012? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, there's going to be the summer fast. I believe that will be a couple of months after the 18th anniversary in the HMT. There's going to be a summer fast. There's also going to be another HMT that will take place during the summer as well, because HMT has got different stages. There's stage 1, there's stage 2. So people that attended the first stage in 2011, they will attend the second stage in 2012. And after that, there's going to be the winter fast. And after the winter fast, there's also going to be another HMT. So you can actually get to do HMT1 and HMT2 in a space of 1 year. So those are the grand events that are actually going to be taking place in the Embassy of God. And I mean, we're also, believing God and trusting God that, before the summer or by the end of the year, the court case, would actually, come to an end. We believe, God is in control of the situation. That's why we are, desperately seeking for prayers, your support, from the body of Christ all over the world. So please stand with us in prayer.
So I'd like to encourage all members of the body of Christ to support us in prayer, to support what God is doing in Kyiv, Ukraine. Apparently, in the middle of the 1st century, Apostle Andrew prophesied about this city. And so what we're doing here is part of what God has decided to do in the last days. And any victory that we secure as a church is a victory for all members of the body of Christ. So please put in your prayers. It's not a very easy place to be. It's not a very easy country to live in and to practice what we believe in. But with your prayers and your support, we trust that God will grant us the victory. Jesus.